It's so easy to get caught up in the rush of life. It's so easy to just be living the day-to-day, getting tangled in the weeds, getting so pulled down by the doubts, the worries, the fears. My only way out of that is to allow my imagination to be so much bigger and so much more powerful than my fears and doubts and worries. Hello! I am coming to you again from California. Birds tweeting, wind blowing, but it's glorious. And I just felt like this is a perfect setting for me to sit here and talk about manifesting and living the life that you truly want to live. I love this topic so much because I love immersing myself in the possibilities and getting so caught up in what's possible and getting lost in it all. Like I just love it so much, and I feel like people don't do it enough. We don't do it enough. It's so easy to get caught up in the rush of life. It's so easy to just be living the day-to-day, getting tangled in the weeds, getting so pulled down by the doubts, the worries, the fears, and really kind of not living the lives that we want. It's so easy for that to happen, and I really find my only way out of that is to allow my imagination to be so much bigger and so much more powerful than my fears and doubts and worries. I have to make that so much bigger so that it really helps me to drive forward in life with the intentions that I want, the intentions that I'm actively creating. And I feel really fortunate because this is something that I've learned about from a really young age. Like, I wrote about this in my book She Means Business, but when I was about 10, my dad and my mum sent me on a course to learn all about the power of the mind. It was called Mind Store, and I learned about the power of positive thinking, and I learned to put myself in a bell jar to protect my energy. I learned for the first time how to visualize, and we got this little cassette tape, and it was this visualization called The House on the Right Bank. And this visualization was where you walk, I think you're walking like through a field, you cross over a river, and on the side of the river is your house. And in your house, mine was this log cabin, and in your house there are some core rooms. There's a shower room where you basically shower yourself in like this golden light, and you imagine all the negative energy going down the drain. There's this library where you can go in there and you can ask questions. So if you don't know the answer to something, or you just need an answer, you can go in there and ask in the library for an answer, which I used to use in exams at school, which was great. It worked. And then there's a bedroom where you can set your alarm clock of like what time you want to wake up without an actual real alarm clock, and that was just an amazing technique too. But there was this room called the editing suite, and that's where there's a movie screen, and you could essentially project the movie of your life, what you want to make happen in your life. And we got the cassette tape to take home with us, and we would listen to this visualization like every night falling asleep, and it was really powerful. And my dad always said to me, Carrie, decide what you want and write it down. And so at a really young age I started doing that. Oh my god, this flies flying at me everywhere. So from a really young age he got me to start dreaming, to start thinking, to start getting intentional about what I wanted. As a teenager, he bought me a book on cosmic ordering. If you've never read any of the cosmic ordering books, I highly recommend it. They're great fun. Essentially, it's so simple. The concept is you just cosmic order what you want. So me and my dad would have so much fun with this. Like when we'd be driving into town, we'd cosmic order the parking space. But the powerful thing is that and I do this all the time, even to this day. I mean, literally, me and my husband Kellen, we're literally cosmic ordering things all the time. Like the amount of times I hear the word cosmic order coming out of Kellen's mouth, it's just funny because it's just such a great little tool. And so we would go, and if you're going into town centre and it's so busy, and I would visualize the space that I would want, and I would cosmic order for it, and 9 times out of 10 I guarantee a car would be leaving into the exact space I'd visualized, and I would drive right in. I seriously feel like it just happens like every time. It's just so powerful. So that was cosmic ordering. He bought me Esther and Jerry Hicks' Ask and It Is Given, and that's a great little CD set that he bought me. And again, I listened to it in my car driving around. He obviously, he loved Jim Rohn, and so was always, I remember being about 12 and he sat me down in front of the TV and put this tape in and was like, tell me to watch this guy, and I was like, who's this old man? Why am I listening to him? But my dad would like go around the house doing these funny impressions of Jim Rohn, being like, you mess up, and like doing his best American accent. And I realised, especially in the UK, that is not a common thing. Like, most people's parents were not doing that kind of stuff. So I feel like so grateful that my dad was so into personal development. So my dad, he grew up on a council estate, and he really had like nothing, but he had an uncle who had money, and he made a decision. His uncle took him out one year for his birthday, and they went to this really nice pub, and somebody opened the door for him and called him sir, and he just kind of got in his head that he wanted a different life, and he set himself all these goals of what he wanted to achieve. The first personal development book he ever read was Al Quran's Bring Out the Magic in Your Mind, and he just got really into personal development, and he realised that the way you think, what you think about, the goals you set for yourself literally shape your life. And it's so true. The way we think about ourselves, the things we believe about ourselves, the things we believe are true for ourselves, the vision we hold for ourselves, the goals we set for ourselves, they're literally determining our lives. And the interesting thing is that we are the captain of our own ships, yet so often we are not acting like the captain of our own ships because we don't know how to act like the captain of our own ships. And so I feel so grateful that my dad has always taught me like how to actually be the captain of my own ship. And so I remember as a teenager creating my first ever goal folder, and I know I've talked about this many times, but I put bank statements in there. I changed it where it said certain things. I added noughts to like all these zeros to the end. I think it had something like, I don't know, 430 million in my bank account or something. I've not got that yet. It's a very big goal for a teenager. Like the car I wanted. I put in loads of stuff about houses, the house I wanted to build. As a teenager, I vividly visualized building my own house, and at night I would fall asleep vividly visualizing this house. I'd walk around the house, I knew the house inside out, like I knew like walking down the driveway. I just vividly visualized it all, and I just knew that was my house, that that's what I wanted, which is just so crazy because now we're in the process of building it, and there's so many likenesses about what I visualized and then now what we're actually creating, which is just insane. So I believe anyone can really become amazing at manifesting what they want. Once you dial it in, once you tune into it, you can manifest amazing things. But it's just that most of the time we're not dialed into manifesting what we want, we're dialed into manifesting what we don't want. And hence why we then are just like end up feeling stuck, frustrated, whatever else. So I really wanted to share with you some of the things that I have done which have helped me so much to manifest amazing things in my life. There have been plenty of phases that I've gone through where I've been so stuck. But you know, when I look back at all those phases, I can see the struggle in my mind. I can see the lack of clarity in terms of like just not really knowing where I was going. I can see the doubts, the fears that just took over me, the anxiety and the stress that took over me. And I could see how much of a loop I was stuck in. So I remember from about 2008 to the beginning of 2011, I was in like a phase of like feeling very lost, very confused, just didn't know what the heck I was doing with my life. But I also remember vividly feeling like the mantra of my life was, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And I just felt so crap all the time. I was just stuck in this low vibration. And from that place, it's hard to bloody manifest anything like good, because you're just not really in tune with the dreams and what you want. So it's like, how do you get out of that place? Or even if you're not in that really low place, but you just want to be better at manifesting, like how do you do it? So I feel like this is just playing a game and having fun with it and not taking it really too seriously. But the first question I have for you is, how often are you vividly experiencing the things that you actually want to bring into your reality? Because so often we want these things, but we're just not really even connected or aligned with them. And I've always found the more I use my imagination to immerse myself in what I want, in feeling it and experiencing it, the more I can only speak for myself here, but in my experience, the more I've done that, the more I've seen it like actually come to fruition. So how often do you think about the things you want? And do you even know what it is that you want? And if you don't really know what it is you want, then really thinking and like carving out time to figure out, right, what do I want to make happen? And maybe go and do the Miracle Month Challenge. I'll leave it in the show notes for you if you want to download. It's a free workbook that we've got that you can go through to do, like, to really help you with like connecting and dreaming and all that kind of stuff. But really thinking through, like, what does a happy, amazing, successful life look like for you? What does a really successful business look like for you? And just asking yourself a question and just giving yourself space, like an hour, 2 hours, go outside, go sit somewhere really nice, put yourself in a really nice environment and give yourself permission to dream, to allow it to start flowing out and enjoy it. Enjoy connecting. If you catch yourself feeling really frustrated, like, I don't know, just stop, throw the thought behind you and just think, what do I know? What do I actually know? And just play with this. Have fun with this. Get creative with this. This is your life. It can be whatever you blooming well want it to be. Once you have that really clear picture of what it is that you actually want, then you can create a vision board, put your ideas and thoughts down. Like, do you have a vision board? I know so many of us do now, but do you have one? Is it up to date? Do you connect with it frequently? Do you go and stand in front of it and really tune in with what it is you want? Do you feel it? Do you connect there? And if not, it's such a powerful and really, really fun thing to do, to see your goals and dreams on that vision board. For me, like, I remember back when I started FEA, when I started my magazine, I really wanted to interview amazing people. And so I put them on my vision board and I knew who I wanted to interview. And it was just, I would just vividly visualize interviewing those people. I would vividly visualize them on the cover of the magazine. And it was crazy how so many of those situations came to pass, like how so many of the opportunities came around in the weirdest ways. But I got really clear on what I wanted, who I wanted to speak to, intention, and like the power of your mind is so phenomenal, but most of us aren't really harnessing it. So harness the power of your mind, harness your power to vividly visualize, to use your imagination to get what you want. Muhammad Ali used to have this technique he called creating his future history, and he would use it to win his matches. Like, he used to publicly predict the matches he was going to win, and he used to publicly predict the round he was going to knock his opponent out in. And so one time a journalist asked him, how are you doing this? How do you publicly predict what round you're going to knock someone out in and get it right? And he said it's because he creates his future history. And so he shared the technique, and he just said that he would vividly visualize winning the race. He would vividly visualize the punches he was going to throw, like the moves he was going to make, and he would just vividly visualize what round his opponent was going to go down in. And it was so real for him. It was like it was his future. He was vividly creating his future. And it is such a powerful thing. So when he went out there, not only was he physically prepared, he was mentally prepared too. He had witnessed the match over and over and over and over and over again in his mind. And you think if Muhammad Ali uses this, and athletes use this technique all the time, because it's so powerful. Your imagination is so powerful, but so many of us are not using our imagination in the way we could be. And the best thing I find about using your imagination is the more you practice using it, the more magical it becomes, the more life just opens up for you, the more possibilities, the more opportunities. It just has such a magical quality to it. So really learning how to take your ideas and your dreams and to vividly visualize them and experience them. Like, I've done this so many times, like for building the platform for FEA, for writing my book. Like, I would vividly visualize that book being written, even though it felt so painful and such a struggle. I would vividly visualize that book being done. I would vividly visualize receiving the first ever copy of that book through the post, vividly visualize opening it, vividly visualizing it, having it in my hands, it being a done deal, and being so proud of myself and feeling so happy about it. I vividly visualized getting the contract with Hay House before that ever even came about. I vividly visualized speaking on stages for Hay House way before that ever happened. I was constantly vividly visualizing what I wanted to make happen. I'm always vividly visualizing what I want to make happen. And the times when I don't vividly visualize what I want to make happen, I am lost. I am lost. So I have always found that when I tune into myself and what I really want, and I connect with it and I visualize it and I make space for it, it just, something magical begins to happen. And I find that ideas pop up, opportunities pop up. And it's like the saying, where focus goes, energy flows. So if you focus on something, then naturally things are going to happen with it. You're going to build momentum. You can't not build momentum if it's something you're really focused on. So my goal for you would be get really clear on what it is that you really want, and then create your vision board or have a goal book or a goal folder so that you have them written down, so you know they're all here, you know what you want. And then, you could also create like a dream jar. I love it, where you kind of write your little goals and dreams down on a little piece of paper, fold them up, put them in your dream jar, and then have it there so you can pull them out like once a day, pull one out, and then just take a couple of minutes to vividly visualize that thing, experience that coming to, like, experience it like it's already happened. So when, for example, with like imagining speaking on Hay House stages, I would just vividly visualize being stood on the stage. I would see the crowd, but I would feel the nerves. I would feel how I was going to feel, and it was just incredible. So do it. Oh, here comes my son. What's up?
Mummy.
Yeah.
I've been crying, then I've been playing, then I just break the whole big glass. The cry done.
Oh, sweetheart, you okay?
Yeah. I break the big whole sleigh when he's in it. Then I got that's how I got it.
Oh, crikey. When we're making a podcast, do you want to be in it? Do you want to sit on my knee? But you can't talk, okay?
I won't.
So, sorry, we have a little star guest, my son Casey. So just using your imagination is just such a powerful thing. So create your dream jar, and then I want to challenge you to tune it in with your imagination and visualize every single day. Try and do it in the morning and at night when you go to bed. And if you get into the habit of doing this morning and night, I want you to see, like, where will you be at in 30 days time? Like, what changes will you have made? How will you feel in yourself? Start to decide that you are going to be a master manifester. Like, you are going to become a master at manifesting the things you want in your life, because you're so intentional, you know what you want, and your energy is flowing to those things. So visualize vividly every single morning, every single night, what it is that you want to make happen, and just see what's possible. See what you can create. Casey's trying to unplug my microphone. You stay there and don't unplug it. Yes? So yes. Casey, I'm teaching everyone about how to manifest and how to set goals, and one day I'll teach you too. How about that? Sound like a great idea? Yeah. But it's so important, and if you do have kids, it's important to like teach them how to harness the power of their mind, the power of their imagination. And there are so many books, like I said, read the Cosmic Ordering books. You can read The Game of Life and How to Play It is a great book on manifesting. You've got obviously Ask and It's Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. That's great. I mean, that in that book, I think it's that one, maybe it says, use your imagination so much until manifestation is just the next logical step. Neville Goddard is another one. So many amazing people. So go and learn about it. If you want to get good at manifesting, learn about it and then put it into practice and vividly visualize what it is that you want, not what you don't want. Vividly visualize what you do want, and it's so incredible what you can make happen. So go do it. I've done this for my whole life, and it has helped me so much, and it is fun, and like, life is a game, and we have to learn how to play it really well. And you start playing it really well when you get clear on what it is that you want, and you start visualizing it, and you start realizing and feeling, this is a done deal for me. Like, my book was a done deal, building a successful business was a done deal, making millions was a done deal. So what's going to be a done deal for you? What do you want to make a done deal? Go and bloom and do it. And start imagining it today. Start imagining it and start bringing it into your reality, and watch what begins to flourish. It will be incredible. So anyway, I hope that's fired you up. I hope it gets you excited. Go use your imagination on overdrive, and it's there for a reason, and it's so magical, and just harness it. Really harness it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to have to go before Casey decides to unplug my microphone. So enjoy the rest of your
Let me
week,
go.
and I will see you next Tuesday for another episode of the She Means Business Show. Casey, do you want to wave goodbye? You want to say bye? You going to say bye?
Bye.